that light, see that? See that light right there? That is primetime light, and it does not go wasted. Just have to get ready really, really fast. Thank you to Makeup Forever for sponsoring today's video with their new HD Skin Matte Velvet 24-Hour Blurring and Undetectable Powder Foundation. It will be officially replacing my beloved Matte Velvet Skin Compact. The new formula is completely undetectable. It looks like skin and has an all-day wear. The sponge applicator that comes with the powder allows you to get a fuller coverage application with one side and a more sheer application on the other. But of course, you could always use a brush for a fully customizable application, and an all-day wear formula that is waterproof, sweatproof, and locks in hydration for maximum comfort. It comes in 32 shades across 4 shade families and 3 undertones, with even more options to come in the future. It is the foundation and the powder I will be wearing throughout today's video, so keep on watching and enjoy. Listen, I look different because it is in fact a different day. Yesterday I was chasing the light because my favorite lighting to take photos and video in is natural light. I will literally, when I say I will army call to find the right spot, I will do anything. I will do anything to find the perfect lighting. And once I was done getting ready yesterday, it was dark out and I'm like, ugh, why? The main point of today's video is how to look your best in photo and video, because everywhere you turn now, there's a freaking camera, and whether you want it for yourself or your own personal memories, when you look back on it, you want to say, wow, I look amazing, that's a great photo, that's a great video, that's a great memory. Or if you want to be a content creator, it seems like nowadays, especially with the boom in TikTok, everybody wants to be a content creator, but everyone is always trying to figure out how to capture photo and video that is worth sharing. And I've been doing it myself for a very long time. Since 2015, I have been shooting my own content. Kyle does help me occasionally when we're out and about, especially when we're on vacation, traveling. But I would say 99% of the time, it's me shooting my own content. So I have a lot of advice I've learned. I've trial and error. I've seen some really bad photos of myself that at the time I thought was good. Bad video of myself. Through my personal experience, I'm here to help you out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and anything else that your heart desires to help support me. And let's get into it. Powder. Listen to me. If you love beauty, powder is your best friend, but not all powders are made the same. As someone who has also worked behind the camera, who has done makeup on models and is watching them through the lens, making sure that they look good, powder is an essential, because the more shiny and glossy the skin is, the greater the chance of you looking textured and undone. So sometimes the way you do your makeup in real life may not transfer well in camera. However, Makeup Forever does have their range of HD products that are meant for high definition situations. This is gonna be a great option because it really does look like skin. It is what I currently have on my skin right now, and I will use it throughout the day. So before I begin shooting, I'll do a test shot. Always do a test shot. Take a look at your makeup. If you are looking borderline sweaty, you're gonna wanna add a powder, and the more matte your skin is in person and the more powder you have on, the more flawless you're gonna look on camera. I noticed this with a lot of brides because you're gonna be taking photos all day long. If you're a bride, you need that powder not only to set your makeup, but also to just look absolutely flawless. And it's the one thing that I would bring with me to touch up clients. And now it's the one thing I bring with me to touch up my makeup, especially if it comes off. This is another little side note. A foundation powder is different than a translucent or transparent setting powder. I tend to use both interchangeably, but when I am out and about, events, things like that, I bring a foundation powder, because if I touch my face and accidentally remove some of my existing makeup, or I've been wearing glasses and I get those marks, you need a foundation powder to add in that coverage. Whereas if you went back in with a translucent, it's not gonna add coverage, it's just going to mattify, but that area that you took off is still gonna be there. So use a foundation powder. Next, let's talk about natural lighting. This one really is a no-brainer. Shooting in natural light is going to give you the best results, especially on something like an iPhone, where the camera now is incredible. Sometimes I get better shots on my phone than with my professional camera. And actually, whenever I'm on vacation, when I'm getting video, I prefer using my iPhone because it captures everything versus a DSLR, because a professional camera DSLR sometimes blows everything out. It can't keep up and it's really frustrating. So it's a lot easier to just shoot horizontally on my iPhone and get a better shot. Same thing when it goes to getting your location. If you're showing off an outfit, if you want to get a really beautiful shot of your face, but you also want some of the background in focus, natural daylight and a phone, I mean, it is also the most cost-effective way. I'm assuming a majority of you have phones with a camera on it. Take advantage of those daylight hours, get up early, shoot your content, and then call it a day. I also think that natural daylight shows off makeup really, really, really well, which is why you see a lot of us. I think there was like a funny TikTok floating around during the pandemic that was, it was like a girl and it said, point of view, every influencer when the sun starts to peek through the windows. And it was like a girl like getting in the most awkward positions, kind of like how I was doing before this, just trying to get that natural light, because something about it is so magical when it comes to showing off makeup. So if you want to show off your makeup and the quality of your makeup, how it looks on the skin, do it in natural daylight. Even sometimes for me, I will step away from my studio lighting and show it off in natural daylight, because something about it just shows off every little detail, and I think it's so important to show that, especially when it comes to makeup. So take advantage of those daylight hours, and if you can't, my next point is to just use a really, really bright light source. Let me go to my spot where I do my makeup and show you what this light does. So this is my main light right here. I've had this for years and years, and it's so funny that now it's my main light and I've had it for so long, and decided to buy like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of lights trying to get the perfect lighting situation when I had this the entire time. Sometimes less is more, you guys. If you want to shoot with your front camera on your iPhone, especially beauty content, you just need a very, very bright light source. This is on the brightest level, and I shoot on the brightest level whenever I'm doing TikToks, using the front camera for any sort of beauty content. You can also lower the brightness, which I'll probably do for now, just so that I'm not blown out while I'm talking to you guys right now. But there's so many options. It doesn't have to be an expensive light. Amazon has a gazillion different options. Pick the brightest one, and it will come in handy when you can't shoot in daylight, because I know that's not ideal for everyone. You just need a super bright light source. Sometimes this one that I have overhead that I just showed, I will take off the softbox. It's a lantern softbox, and I'll just use it on like full bright spotlight mode to shoot my fashion content before leaving the house, and to also shoot my makeup with my iPhone or with my professional camera. It kind of like mimics using a flash, but on iPhone it just looks amazing. On a DSLR, it'll look more like a flash. On iPhone, it'll just look like a crisp, clear photo or video. And we're back to where we started. I just wanted to share a few other pointers or tips that will allow you to capture the best version of yourself in photo or video. Angles. Angles do matter, especially if you're short like myself. And surprisingly, a lot of us in the beauty industry are short, which I think is that a coincidence? I don't know what it is. Like, all the beauty girls are short, and of course all the fashion girls are tall. So angles really matter for us. If you're trying to capture yourself, like shoes, outfit, like head to toe, you're trying to capture yourself in the entire frame, have whoever is shooting you shoot you from a low angle. Sometimes I joke that Kyle could literally dig a hole and shoot me from a hole, and it would look incredible. I'll look 6 feet tall when I'm 5 feet tall. Bluetooth controls. This right here is a game changer for capturing your own content, especially if you want to experiment with really cool angles, really high fashion stuff. Maybe you want to kick your leg up in the air, hold your hands above your head. This is such a great tool for capturing your own content. Or if you're on vacation, this has come in handy whenever I want to capture Kyle and I in a photo and not have it just be a selfie of us on vacation. I tell him all the time, I'm like, I want more photos of us that aren't selfies, but selfies are just the easiest to get of each other or of us together when we're on vacation. But with a Bluetooth control, and these can be universal. This is the one for my Canon, my DSLR camera. You can also, if you have an Apple Watch, I didn't realize that your Apple Watch can also be a Bluetooth remote for your iPhone. Such a handy tool, and I highly recommend you have one on hand, especially when shooting yourself, or again, when you are on vacation and want to capture images that maybe, you know, getting a fellow tourist to shoot of you isn't gonna yield the best results. My last tip, editing apps. Editing apps really do help if you capture an image that isn't up to the quality that you want it to be. And it's so funny because I'm really loving the direction that content is going in these days. I think before we were going for this really pristine, crisp, produced image or imagery in photo and in video, and now people are almost trying to dilute their images to look a little more raw, unfiltered, undone, especially that film look, which I really, really love. My favorite app is the TEZZA app. I especially love the filter called, is it called Coco? I think it's called Coco, let me see. If I ever take an image and it's too blown out and you can't see the details, yeah, it is Coco. Coco tones down those highlights and it just makes the image a little more flattering, especially if you're out in broad daylight and you can't see the clouds or the sky's too washed out. And I also love using the film mimicking filters on the app. Fuji 400 is my absolute favorite. It gives it that like grainy, here's an example of a photo I took. I don't know why I'm showing it on camera when I can just pop it up right here. If any other favorite features of mine from this app pop up in my head while I'm editing this video, I'll make sure to include them down below. But I would say the TEZZA app is my favorite. I surprisingly I haven't used Facetune in like a year. I feel like Facetune was really popular when it was just like a strict makeup look and I was trying to edit out like a couple pimples or maybe some things a little out of place. I would use Facetune, but now I don't like it. I think it makes everything look too edited. I wish I knew how to Photoshop better, because if you know how to Photoshop and do it well, your image can look crisp and clean and edited, but not like Facetune. Facetune makes you look kind of blurry sometimes. Snapseed is another favorite one of mine for just adjusting color tones, the Lightroom phone app, and then Retouch for removing items that you don't want in your image that are unflattering. When I went to Greece this past summer, I actually removed some people that were in my shot when we were at the moon beach. Oh, it was so beautiful, but they were ruining the landscape, so I actually removed them using the Retouch app. Anything else I can think of, I will include down below, but I think for now, that is everything. I hope that you got some really good pointers for capturing your best self in a selfie, a photo, or video. And if you do capture any amazing content using these tips, please tag me because I'd love to see it. I'm here to help in any way possible, not just how to get a beautiful makeup look, but how to capture it as well, because that's just as important, because if there is no photo or video, it never happened. Again, a huge thank you to Makeup Forever for sponsoring today's video with their HD Skin Matte Velvet Powder. It is something that I can fully vouch for, and I am so happy to have a new powder, because while this one is tried and true, my Matte Velvet Skin, there's no harm in getting a little bit of an upgrade. It is amazing. Check it out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.